We are going live on YouTube. Hello and welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming to this month's edition of Poem Jam with poet Kim Shuck. I'm John Smalley and I'm a librarian with the San Francisco Public Library. While we're waiting for everyone to join us, I want to take a moment to acknowledge our community and to tell you about a few of our upcoming literary programs. On behalf of the Public Library, we want to welcome you to the unceded land of the Ohlone tribal people and to acknowledge the many Ramaytush Ohlone tribal groups and families as the rightful stewards of the lands on which we reside and work. Our library is committed to uplifting the names of these families and community members, and we encourage you to learn more about first-person rights. Next Wednesday, October 20th, the library's Hormel Center, in partnership with the Booksmith, presents a panel discussion facilitated by author Matilda Bernstein Sycamore. Sycamore will discuss her new anthology, Between Certain Death and a Possible Future, Queer Writing on Growing Up with the AIDS Crisis, with contributors Robert Birch, Keiko Lane, Aaron Nielsen, and Andrew Spielden. On Thursday, October 21st, SFPL presents readings from Joaquin Legaspi's newly reprinted poetry collection. Legaspi was a poet, artist, community worker, organizer, and important figure connected with San Francisco's Manila-town international hotel community from the 1920s to the 1970s. And on October 25th and 26th, New York author Carla Corneo Villavicencio will discuss the hidden lives of her fellow undocumented Americans, from the volunteers recruited for the 9/11 Ground Zero cleanup to the homeopathy botanicas in Miami that provide limited health care to non-citizens. So this ends my introductory announcements. I'd now like to turn the microphone over to our program's host, Kim Shuck. Take it away, Kim.
Thank you, John. I am so excited about tonight's reading. I can barely contain myself. We have the enormous pleasure in the San Francisco Bay Area of having a lot of different communities of poets, and hopefully one overarching community, but all of our communities over the last couple of years have been going through it, whatever it is at the moment. And the pandemic did not end some of the problems which started before the pandemic, including some storms and some drama and some problems. And so I've been trying to touch on communities that, I don't know. I've been trying to touch on different communities just to remind ourselves that there are some things, but also that there's an enormous wealth of incredible poetry that's available to us. Anyway, I'm babbling a little bit. I am in awe of pretty much all of these, but in fact, all of these poets who are reading tonight, and I'm only going to talk for a little while. So our first poet is Tony Aldorando, and rather than doing, as people know that I do, rather than doing the overly formal introductions and saying all of the incredible things that Tony has done, Tony became really part of my family while QR Hand was ill. We knew each other before that, but he really kind of landed firmly in my family at that point. An incredible heart with one of my favorite voices of any poet in the area. So please welcome Tony Aldorando.
Thank you so much. Here we go. Cue our hand with a love this. Music is poetry. Poetry is music. Come on a journey with me to La Misión in San Francisco. A la misión, con toda mi gente. Si hay poesía y no hay policía. Si ya tú sabes como yo soy. Si hay poesía en la misión, canto mi canción. Ay, pa' allá voy, este poeta, pa' allá voy. Si hay latino y tan unidos. Si están gozando y están bailando, ay, pa' allá voy, este poeta, a la misión, cantar mi canción. Si ya tú sabes como yo soy, si hay poesía, allá voy. Si hay Susana, si hay Manny, si hay Avotcja, pues viene Tony. Si ya tú sabes como yo soy, si hay poesía, si ya tú sabes, si hay poesía, si ya tú sabes. This one's dedicated to my heroes. And there's a lot of you in the Zoom room tonight. I speak in lengua franca. Local poets are my heroes. The art exhibition of the dead in my head of Picasso's, Frida Kahlo's, and Miro's. I've got the spirits of dead poets in my head. When I close my eyes, I see them. Like last night, they sold out an open mic at the Oakland Coliseum. Miguel Piñero tocando lo cuero, Piri Tomás reciting verses, Frida Kahlo pintando, Frida Kahlo on stage with her colores, her love disperses, with her colores, her love disperses. Yo tengo Walter Mercado living deep inside my head. Me dijo poetas nunca mueren porque dejamos libros to be read. As long as those words come alive, the poet is never dead. As long as those words come alive, he said the poet is never dead. It's never dead. It's never dead. I want what I cannot have. I want what I cannot see. I want the world and eternity. I want to run wild and be free. I don't want no one bothering me. I want a ticket on a JetBlue plane. I want to listen to breakup music without feeling pain. And want every man, woman, and child suffering from a mental health illness to please stop being called insane. I want. I want to know how homelessness could exist in a rich-ass city like this, where most people live every day like it's a second Christmas. I want back my old neighborhood. I want back my youth. I want to be angry. That's the truth. I want some justice. I want no lies. I want no funerals. I want no cries. I want all men to experience the blind. I want them to see that beauty's in the mind. I want back the memory the police beat out of me. August the 14th of 1993. I want back those memories. I want back that knowledge They beat me so bad, I had to drop out of college. I want to know who, what, where, why, and when the good life begins and the hood life ends. I want to know. Who am I? Who are you? Do I know me? Do you know you? Do any of us really even want to know the truth? Or are we just afraid of the truth? You know, some say the truth can really hurt. Others say the truth will set you free. Whatever that means. Who am I? Am I the weak father who walked out on his wife, gave up on life, looked his little girl in the eye and said, goodbye? Who am I? Am I the bastard delinquent child my mama couldn't handle? The good boy gone bad, the bad man gone mad? A strung out dope fiend in a rush to reach the pearly gate? Am I Catholic, Baptist, gay, or am I straight? Who am I? Will I find out too late? Am I a santero, conguero, a Taino chief, or just some Puerto Rican spick? Some spick filled with grief. Am I high? Am I low? Or just some guy you call bro? Yell, yo! As if I was John Doe. I have a name too, you know. Who am I? Where am I to go? Am I a part of the new status quo or the new revelation? And what shall be my occupation? Who am I? Can anyone save me? Or if I reach out my hands for help, will you just enslave me? Who am I? Latinos are the colors of the rainbow. I said the rainbow, yo. Latinos are blanquito, negrito, trigueñito, and afro. Afrolistic, realistic, simplistic, always mystic, always real. Really real, sometimes too real. Always told we love to steal. So some Latinos become violent. So violent we grow violent, and almost everyone we know's violent. Others become angered. So angry and angered, some have become endangered, or misinformed, uninformed, and uniformed into the penitentiary, right into the next century. Others misinformed, uninformed, and uniformed into the war, turned into Uncle Sam's whore. Latinos, I can't take it no more. I said the U.S. military. Well, we're first on the front lines, first to die, then we have to bury. Have you seen how many Latino soldiers are in your national cemetery? We're used in the U.S., abused in the U.S., confused in the U.S., and told we are less in the U.S. Come on, system, confess. We've been infected, rejected, corrected, and almost never elected, yet always selected to clean, 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 clean. those pissed on urinals and shitty stalls. We are the Latina nannies that wipe the mierda out of El Presidente's grandchildren's drawers, then kiss his ass to cut his grass for a measly visa pass. Latinos are runaway slaves, immigrant slaves, modern day slaves with eyes open wide and no place to hide. Latinos risk their lives to reach the U.S. and can't come inside. Latinos fought in every war and served this country with pride. We're here, there, and everywhere. Tall, short, balding, even Indio looking with long hair. We rock Ben Davis pants, love music and dance, and we're born to romance. Latinos can become what we dream. Latinos can become what we dream if given a chance. Latinos are stars, sports stars, movie stars, and superstars like Celia Cruz. Latinos influence people around the world like Orquesta de la Luz. Latinos are united farm workers, teachers, preachers, activists, poets, Borinquen, Puerto Rican, New Yorker poets like Willie Perdomo, Pedro Pietri, Avotcja, Piri Tomás, Miguel Alguerini, Miguel Piñero, y nacimos fuerte hasta la muerte, como los macheteros. Somos doctores y profesores de colores y ingenieros, gente como Clemente, de los mejores peloteros. Somos jíbaros de la montaña y nacimos todos salseros. Ay, mis laborinquen, como yo te quiero. Te llama Puerto Rico, pero no hay mucho dinero. Te amo, te amo, te amo y me encanta. Y en el nombre de Dios y poesía, Latino se levanta. We are poets. We're in your neighborhood. We're not that hard to find. We'll massage your temples, touch your hearts, and educate your mind. We are poets. We can take pretty words, put them in a poem, and plant a mental seed. Or we can take unpretty words when we're filled with rage, put them on a page, and make it bleed. We are poets. We can put words together describing an aroma and make you think that page was scented. We are poets, the reason the exclamation point was invented. We write, recite, and perform. We never, ever conform. It's the way we poets know damn well we were born. Pushed out, performing, and crying since birth, our hearts already broken and torn. But we as poets, we can take pieces of broken words and turn them into spoken words and give a broken heart a fresh new start. Take a young child's broken dreams and mend them with spoken seams. We are poets, blessed and filled with words. We create with words, relate with words, transform and relocate hearts and minds with words. We are poets. We say things like 5 times 5 divided by pi equal the number of rainbow stars in the sky, and have you ask, why? We are poets. It's simple mathematics times dramatics factored into a poetical third eye. And the answer in the back of your mind's book is even simpler. We are poets. Ay, ay, ay. Love-making, keyboard-breaking, erotic poets. We can make a pen, make love to paper, and make it hum. Make words intoxicate your mind like a strong Puerto Rican rum. We are poets, filled with laughter, tears, joy, imagination, and patience. We speak at the open mic at presidential inaugurations. From our hearts the words flow. Through our tongues, mouths, and lips, those words magically know where to go. In our heads, the poets of the dead are awoken. We speak from our hearts with the voices of the broken. We are poets, this much we know. We give birth to words, touch Mother Earth through words, and at open mics, open our mouths and pour out our hearts through words. We write, then rewrite, then double check the last rewrite. 'cause we know the last rewrite is the one that has to be right. We are poets. We share our breath with words, and we will write and recite till our death with words. We are poets. Thank you so much.
You always make me so happy. Thank you so much. Our next reader is Manny Martinez. And it is the first time I have the great pleasure of having Manny at one of my microphones, but I have heard him before, and you guys have something coming. And, you know, there was a little bit of mention before we started opening the room to other people that this is family. Manny, I need you to know every single other reader in this group recommended you, Manny Martinez.
Oh, I'm hella nervous. Thank you so much, Kim. And I've got to, I've got to shout out Avotcja for nurturing me, loving me, and never giving up on me. I love you. All right, I'm gonna start with a new piece, and then take it from there. It's called Puerto Rican. Puerto Rican, quick to love, quick to judge with a verb, shooting stars envy for how it moves mountains and crushes internal organs. Your little lies carry ancestral messages of sacred things long dead but not yet buried, like the zombie-like bride-to-be your beloved island has become, perpetually betrothed to Uncle Sam's monster, mourned and celebrated. She breathes and breeds, knowing her needs are your needs. When you bleed, she bleeds, and vice versa. A hemophiliac madre patria surrounded by a sanguine sea, centuries old, like stories told of bodies black and brown, tossed and drowned on and off beaches. Some white too, but history teaches us not enough. The truth seldom reaches us, so your desarrollo sometimes screeches to a halt, and it isn't your fault. It is not your fault. No es tu culpa, no es tu culpa, puñeta, no es culpa tuya. The blame rests on the shoulders of men believing they were giants, above it all, close to Christ, with loaded brains and loaded guns and small hearts and tiny souls, tricked into thinking they were doing God's work. And maybe they were. I mean, look at you, you're fucking beautiful. Tender and hard when you have to be, rebellious survivor by nature. You tame your God-given demons through rhythm, religion, and other myths. And who among us truly knows the master plan? The master's plan is that you never forget who has claimed the title, who is signing the titles, who is at the root of all evil, who is most masterful at manipulating hate and hierarchy, the apparatus and the status quo. Perhaps there's something to this as above, so below. What do you know? It doesn't feel right. That's what you know. Y tú lo sabes. In the center of your humongous spirit, you know we've been wronged. You know it hurts. You stay strong and proud and brush off bendito comments because you've learned that bendito hermano jódete. Besides, what are you going to do? The revolution isn't for you, right? This one is called, oh, wow. This one's called Fragmented. It's a combination of a short story and a poem. The call for lights out bounces off marbled floors and pale walls. Darkness comes in intervals. In a padded room, a wiry, dark-skinned man with a graying goatee lies awake, memorializing his fallen comrades. They were from the diaspora, gringos with blood ties to Caribbean towns bearing Taino names, Jabucoa, Calle, Humacao, Arecibo, Guayama. Colonizer cursed. Their true names replaced with the names of their ancestors' oppressors, Sanchez, Torres, Garcia, Colondres, a lost tribe of glorious brothers and sisters called to take back what was stolen from them. They believed they were chosen. In his youth, an American white man in uniform once asked him his full name. He told him proudly it was Mario Jesus Cora. The white man asked him what kind of a name was that for a nigger. Stung, he told the man he was Puerto Rican. Same difference, the white man said. As he aged and read and listened, he learned the meaning of that phrase, the acknowledgement of that what is said, thought, or believed isn't necessarily true or altogether accurate, but that ultimately what makes it untrue or inaccurate doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things because nobody really cares. He understood there's America. Before I know it, the rock is leaving my hand and landing forcefully on the left side of the policeman's head. The impact brings him to his knees and he drops the gun. Run for your life, I yell. And that's exactly what my boy Eugene does. Word on the street is that justice is defined by impartiality and objectivity in a rigged system of definitions. So I sprint toward the other officer and kick his gun as hard as I can and watch it disappear into a storm drain opening. I bellow a great big laugh and then I run down 19th, make a right on Brian and keep on going until my lungs burn. Once safe, I text Eugene to make sure he's okay and I can't stop grinning. I see it all like a spectral projection of past and future and death assured. And I think, not today, you evil motherfucker. And then it dawns on me that he didn't see my face and I'm bent over, consumed in giddiness. I'm an anonymous avenger. I want my cape to be purple. Earth, wind, and fire's fantasies blaring through the clouds. Eugene is dead. Whatever the headlines, another unarmed, unwhite man is dead. And damn it, if he doesn't look like me again. He's shown in a picture taken for his yearbook, toothless smile, eyes already suspicious of it all, gleaming with the fire and promise within, collared shirt, bought at Ross, his Theo's tie and a maroon velvet jacket his mom found on the sales rack at Urban Outfitters after asking Omar at the corner grocery to please wait until next month for what she owed. His name is Eugene, born of a certain you, broke and betrayed, marked before being. America's like heaven, except when you're being shot, caged, beaten, berated, belittled, blamed, bullied. Some cops really do enjoy hurting Black and brown folk, but if you ask who could possibly enjoy doing something like that, you're asking the wrong question. I think of myself an idealistic pragmatist, a patriot, except when grandma asks whether I'm Puerto Rican or American, then of course I say, Boricua hasta la muerte, abuela, my clenched fist in the air. She doesn't quite get the concept that Puerto Ricans are American citizens. But isn't it about power? Eugene was always better than me at standing up to racists. He said the US is an unmovable object being slammed by the unstoppable forces of change, evolution, and good old cosmic karma. And I am a law-abiding minority, except for in my soul, right in the center of my essence is a bit of reckoning, recklessness, a patient knowing, another bullet off his shoulder, another in his chest. Then he's drifting away, his life draining out before him as he disappears, forsaken. Another day in America, the dream, the experiment, the melting pot of humanity simmering under the violent flames of isms. It burns to touch, to taste. I emerge from my hiding place. Swish go my Nikes on the puddled pavement. Hasta la victoria siempre, I shout. Hate is a bullet in my belly. Okay, I think I got more. Thank you. This one is called, I'm trying to pull them out as I, Sueño contigo. This one's gonna go in Spanish first and then English. Borinquen, sueño contigo, aunque irme de ti fue lo más que yo quise. Sueño con tu palo de mango, cual la fruta yo subía a buscar, lo recogía del piso o tenía a pedrar. Borinquen, sueño contigo porque tu rayo de sol y sal de tu mal jamás me han dejado. Han colonizado mi piel y mi ser. De ti yo nunca hablo mal, pero que no me hablen de tu política o de tu sistema de salud, porque entonces sí que no. Borinquen, sueño con tu pasado, tu futuro y tu presente. Sueño con tu gente, humilde y guillú, ansiosa y tranquila, feliz e infeliz, todo a la misma vez. Gente que no tiene que conocerte para darte todo lo que puedan darte. Gente que te partan el alma con machete, bate, pistola, chancleta, música y letra o lo que encuentran, porque nadie usa los recursos disponibles como el boricua. Mira la capugia. Borinquen, sueño contigo por las lecciones que me enseñaste. Por ti sé cuándo darle un break a alguien y cuándo decir, mira, chico, no jodas más. Cómo tener orgullo en mi trabajo y cómo mandar a alguien a las ventas del carajo. Cómo pararme firme en mi orgullo y mi identidad. Cómo seguir para adelante, porque para atrás ni para coger impulso. Borinquen, sueño contigo porque algo en mí sabe que lo nuestro no se ha terminado. Me llama, me llamará, me has llamado, me ha arruinado para cualquier otra patria y en mis momentos más sublimes o más en necesidad de esperanza, contigo es que sueño, Borinquen. Borinquen, I dream of you though, loving you, leaving you was all I desired. I dream of your mango trees whose fruit I climbed for, picked up from the ground or stoned. Borinquen, I dream of you because your rays of sunlight and the salt of your sea have never left me. They've colonized my skin and my soul. I never speak badly of you, but please don't mention your politics or your health system because then it's on. Borinquen, I dream of your past, your future, and your present. I dream of your people, humble and proud, anxious and calm, happy and miserable simultaneously. People who don't need to know you to give you everything they got. People who will break your soul with a machete, a bat, a pistol, flip-flops, music and lyrics, or whatever they can find because nobody uses their available resources like a Boricua. Check the Alcapuria. Borinquen, I dream of you for the lessons you've taught me because of you, I know when to appease someone and when to say, yo, get the fuck out of my face, how to have pride in my work and how to stand up for myself and stand firm in my pride and my identity. How to keep going forward because there's no going back, not even to gain momentum. Borinquen, I dream of you because something in me knows that what we share isn't over. You call me, you've called me, you will call me. You have ruined me for any other country. And in my most sublime moments or in desperate need of hope, I dream of you, Borinquen. Thank you. I think that's all I have. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very much. And I want you to know something. This has never happened to me before. I've had several texts about your reading while you were reading. That has literally never happened before. That was awesome. Thank you so much for being here, Manny. Oh, wow. Our next poet is Susana Praver-Perez, who I feel like we know each other. We haven't spent a whole lot of time in the same rooms together, but I feel like we do know each other. We've performed together sometimes, but it always really rings for me. So welcome, 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 Susanna.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you for putting this together. And you're right, this is Familia. It's beautiful to be here tonight. And I'm going to start out with some family poems. This first poem I wrote to my son, and it's called Sancocho. My son has a name a full hand of fingers long. When the DMV made him fan all of his names on a table, like a gin rummy flush, he asked, "What were you and Pa thinking?" What we were thinking was to paint the map of your being in such bright letters you would never lose yourself, never lose us, nor your grandparents, tus abuelos, your great-grandparents, tus bisabuelos, as you walk in a world where accent marks are seen as rubble to stumble on, and the roll of an R an aberration. We stamped you with the world of my ancestors, or what we knew of it, after genocidal war destroyed the shtetls of Europe and yanked those roots from the soil. We gave you my paternal name, which may not really be my father's name or my father's father's name, but a name a clerk at Ellis Island approximated, a name that in Russian may have been Pravda, meaning truth. The truth is hidden in an uprooted name. We hold on tight to our names, always seeking the truth. Y tu papa stamped his name and his roots on you and on me too, embossed an ever-present Perez on birth certificates, marriage licenses, and, as you well know, mijo, driver's licenses. Perez is like Smith in the Spanish-speaking world, but here, instead of the beautiful cascade of syllables it is, Perez is pureed into Perez in English-speaking mouths. Never let them tell you how to say your own name. It is yours. It is yours and Papi's and now mine. It belonged to Abuelo Mateo, who lived in a wooden house with no hot water in Moca. Y tu bisabuelo, who walked those fertile hills barefoot, cracked soles caked with red soil. Y tus tatarabuelos, whose names were scrawled on the front page of a Bible with a pencil sharpened by a machete. Your roots spread deep and far in a land whose sweetness was sucked by cañaverales and colonizers. Roots spreading like woody lianas and flowering vines in El Yunque. Roots that spread through the halls of our home, shape glistening sulci in our brains. Thickly seasoned braid of blood, beating like bomba drums, strumming like a balalaika, spreading like verbs in our veins. Thank you. This next piece, that first piece is from my book, Hurricanes, Love Affairs, and Other Disasters. This next piece is not in that book. It is in Essential Truth, so Shizwe's book, anthology. This is a poem of remembrance from my late husband, Jose Perez, and it's called A mi querido negrito en su día. December 11th arrived, enrobed in fog and missing, in the warm cocoon of a cantaloupe room you painted before you became one with the wind, your ashes dancing above Aguadilla. Born in that place of little waters, though some say Aguadilla is not Spanish, but Taíno for garden. Hijo de palmas, orquídeas y olas del mar crashing on ivory sand. Your song ran along stone rivers, Rio Piedras, where you grew. Sweet mangoes bursting as they rained upon your flat cement roof. I place a slice of that fruit like a heart upon your altar, and a flag of your beloved Borinquen unfurled, black and white in a sky like leche de coco that once fed your vibrant flesh. En el cielo, in cara nublado, your soul, still bright, veins the gift of you, like rivulets of molten gold. So continuing with the theme of family, I'm going to read a poem to my Titi Sara called Ode to Titi. Titi Sara could squeeze juice from a dime. And when she ran out of dimes, Titi could suck sap from a centavo. They say oil and water don't mix, but Titi knew how to water aceite vegetal, make it last to her next paycheck. Titi opened her triple-locked door, embraced me in her freckled arms. Aquí tienes tu casa, siempre. As soon as I settled, I skipped to the market. Café y queso, piña y parcha slipped fine Spanish olive oil into my cart. Succulent frill for her cupboard. ¿Por qué compraste tanto? She quizzed as I hauled in the shopping, her voice the tone of her short copper hair. You gonna eat all that? She asked. We're gonna eat all that, I replied, storing the rice with a wink of my eye. Titi cooked arroz con gandules, plátano frito, pechuga de pollo steeped in sofrito. No sooner than plates were laid on the table, we heard a tuk, tuk, tuk at the door. Buen día, Sarita. Olga, from down the hall, in house dress and shawl, to borrow some olive oil, si me haces el favor. Cierto, said Sara, jumped like an athlete, poured half her flask of oil in a jar. Toma, she said, with the grace of a dancer. Así fue Titi. If Titi had $2, she'd give one to a tecato trembling on the corner, spend days and nights aiding the ill. But where was the aid when Titi got ill? After Maria knocked out electric, left her sin agua, eating canned tuna till her intestines jammed. Where was the aid? Stuck in her building, car soaked to chassis in hurricane surge. Pallets of water left on a runway, while Titi and thousands withered with thirst. Titi died in el Hospital del Maestro, surgery soiled by darkness and heat. Dancing barefoot with angels al Camposanto, así fue Titi. The shoes she left, too huge to fill, stand empty. Frente al Capitolio and the White House lawn, silent witness to what went so wrong. So that is one of many of the hurricane poems I have in my book. And if the hurricane was not enough, a year and a half later, Puerto Rico was hit by a year-long series of earthquakes. Hit the south, and this poem is about that as well as accumulated trauma. It's called Cartography of the Caribbean. Once, during the discovery, map makers placed Borinquen at the center of the New World. North America, not fully explored, was mapped like a snake dangling above the island renamed Puerto Rico for riches the Spaniards found. The snake grew voracious teeth. Gold was devoured. Ore became sugarcane, then petrol. Pharmaceuticals, a tax haven, a post-hurricane clearance sale, se vende sign seen everywhere. So, it sounds like old news when geologists explain shake after shake of earthquake swarms. The North American plate is pushing hard against the Caribbean, apretando till fault lines jolt. Rocks explode, and Boricos with frayed, singed nerves feel they're about to implode. Houses built on pillared legs fall to their knees. Schools collapse like tents of cards. Thousands of people sleep under the stars, afraid they'll be crushed by their homes. And every blackout chafes half-healed wounds, remembering a year without light, months without water, weeks of waking to tell your daughter, eat your rice, mi amor. No hay nada más. Cascades of disasters reshape inner landscapes like swarms of quakes reshape Puerto Rico's topography. In just 15 days, the city of Ponce sunk 15 feet, slid westward towards the setting sun. On Dia de los Reyes, Guayanilla woke to find Punta Ventana shattered. Porthole in the stony cliff now jagged row of teeth. And in Guanica, point of entry when the US invaded in 1898. The ocean trembles. On the shore, a woman watches a meteor streak across the sky. Her house is a mound of rubble, but she's still standing, listening to the coquilles singing in the mangroves. I have two more pieces. These are not from the book. This one, all four of us are bilingual poets. We're also all from New York, and I see a lot of New York in the house. So this is for y'all. It's called Kuchi Frito at Midnight. We were leaving Loisaida, not the town of Luis Aldea on Puerto Rico's northern shore where cimarrones escaped slavery's chains. There was no sea of surging water in front of us, just an ocean of concrete, still radiating heat, despite the midnight hour. We were leaving Loisaida, not La Calle Loisa that runs through Santurce, where scent of sofrito drifts on sea breezes. That same smell was in the air, but the breeze that carried it was thick with car exhaust, despite the midnight hour. We were leaving Loisaida, New York's Alphabet City, where Avenue C is sometimes called Avenida Loisaida by Boricuas living in Puerto Rico's other capital. Avenue A could be for Albizu, Avenue B for Betances, and Avenue C for Coño, que caras están las rentas. So Boricuas took that blighted neighborhood, turned abandoned buildings into homes where familias could live and grow. We were leaving Loisaida to catch the train to Long Island, La Otra Isla. The 1 a.m. from Penn. We should make it, no problem. City blocks speed by, walking in Manhattan on a warm summer night. But then we saw it. Blinking neon signs, sounds of salsa lured us in. Patitas, chicharrón, orejas, rabo de cerdo, all glistened in the flashing red light. Mira pa' allá. Kuchi frito, food from home, steeped in larga tradición, scraps cast off by los ricos, made delicious by los pobres, made whole again. Puerto Rican soul food in the middle of Nueva York, in the middle of the night with a train to catch. We were leaving Loisaida, the Loisaida in a city that never sleeps, where one can eat Kuchi frito at midnight and make time and distance disappear. We were leaving Loisaida, and the pleasure of finding el sabor de sus raíces in the city of steel made the 2-hour wait for the next train worth it. And I'm going to close with a short poem, a love poem to the island of Puerto Rico. It's called No Small Love, and it's after Sonia Sanchez's poem, This Is Not a Small Voice. This is no small isla, you see. This 33 by 100 mile splash of green. This island is large, long, a syncopated song, a sizzling crimson flamboyant. This is no emerald speck, you see, floating between 2 twirling seas. Africa and Spain twirled Taino DNA and new migrations grew. This is not a flash of light drifting in a jet-black night. This is loam y cordillera, caña, plantain, cascade of calloused hands. This is no small love, you see. This land of Mayelo, El Topo y Don Rafael, parcha-flavored verse, plumeria-scented breeze. This love is a porous arc of palm trees, pours itself on balmy skin like waterfalls on obsidian. This love figure eights its hips, unlocks rusted gates, drips guarapo from its lips. This love is where I am, hermana, negrita, mami, mi amor, you see. This is no small love. Gracias.
Wow. Susanna's work is is some of the poetry I recognize who wrote it, even if it comes to me without a name on it. It's one of those things. It's like, I can't judge a contest with you in it because I absolutely know it's your work. There's no mistaking it. Thank you so much, lady. I've been thinking how to introduce Avotcja since we started. And we're a whole different kind of family, this lady and I. I answer the phone when she calls me, when I am not answering the phone to anyone. And I actually have a true story about that. Somebody, there we are.
Come on, let's get this thing going here. All right, headed back to the bay, y'all. Headed back to the bay.
Okay, I did.
It's Bill. Please mute Bill.
Okay. No, it was, yeah. Anyway, so when my daughter passed, Avotcja called me and talked to me and said some comforting things and some difficult things and some heavy things. And I wasn't answering the phone when she called me, but I answered the phone for her. We've known each other a long time. I believe that we started really getting to know one another when we were both involved with a reading in benefit of the people in the Ninth Ward after the levees broke. I'm not going to blame that on the weather. That was indifference that caused that. And we started working together then pretty regularly and ended up at a lot of readings together. And I love this lady. She knew my adopted mom, and she's a legend. And that's the end of your introduction. Avotcja.
Everybody said, this is familia, you know, this is the real deal. And folks know the story. I had two daughters. I didn't have any boy children. So I had adopted a couple, and both these young men, Manny and Tony, are my babies. You see, and it's always wonderful, I have to say, when you can get the babies and some other woman has to deal with the labor pains and the stretch marks. So these are both my babies I'm very proud of. And Susanna is my sister. And I'm grateful all of you came out to support us. Going to do a couple of things here in English, Spanish, and Spanglish. This is Lágrimas de una vieja lunática. Somebody else did something about the mission. I used to live in the mission, and the mission is not the place I used to live in. I cannot believe when I go down the streets in the mission what it is now, or what it isn't, I should say. So this is Lágrimas de una vieja lunática, or the tears of a crazy old lady. Aquí estoy. Lunaticando, another old lady dishing out healing doses of age, poetic tears, and laughter con picante. I come handing out mega servings of delicious ambiente dulce spice with muralista fervor. I'm here, a relic still erect, laughing at our new age navel-staring neighbors who live trying to intellectually digest el sabor del pueblo while pricing us out of what's ours at the cost of losing their souls and all their profits, trying to cure their too hot to swallow jalapeno-induced indigestion. Y vengo. Lunaticando, now an old lady serving out huge portions of sensatez místicas, the real soul food, and heaps of poesía que me quema y ganas sin fin, my will, fortified by las lágrimas of an army of ancestors, inspired, unbending, and fully aware. Our new age navel-staring neighbors may have priced some of us out of the neighborhood, but we keep coming back, Lunaticando, knowing that we shall overrun and they will never, never, ever colonize our spirit out of La Misión. This next one is called Listen to the Rain for Junque, and I cried just thinking about it because Maria ate El Junque. I mean, it just chewed it up. But I still see what it was, and I guess our great-grandchildren will see it be that again, because Mother Nature doesn't stop. So, and I apologize, Elisaldo and Bonifacio, who I think are listening from La Isla, they were saying they were listening for my rain stick. I can't play it, and this because Zoom will make it a mess. So anyway, this is Listen to the Rain for El Junque. El Junque, jardín de esperanza, Donde vive el alma boricua, el alma de la perla del Caribe, el señor gringo, he always listens. I say he always listens, but never hears the music of El Yunque. Too busy, always rushing, running, taking, breaking, always taking, but never taking time enough to listen to the rain, to hear her sacred song, to feel the magic, Ay, El Yunque, gritando sangre de las flores, el llanto del coquí, they came. I said they came suffering acute gringo-itis in the bank account. They will never know El Yunque is more than just another rainforest, more than a beautiful tourist trap, more than just one more romantic locale with more great potential for the cultural expansion of McDonald's bulletproof hamburgers Boricua. Have you ever really listened to the rain, the magic, El Yunque Sagrado? Corazón de la lluvia, corazón de la tierra, pesadilla de los Yankees. Listen, Boricua, listen to the rain. El Yunque is a fertility dance. It's Borinquen's poem of power. Don Pedro, Don Lolita, Don Juan Antonio tried to make you hear, tried to make you feel strong enough to live for a tree and maybe even die to be free. Did you hear them? The magic, El Yunque. Sombra de anhelos escondidos, el renacimiento del sueño borincano. Listen, Boricua. Listen to the rain. Let her whisper in your ears. Let her shower with your pride. Let her overwhelm you with her beauty. Let her lead you to the magic. Yunque is nature's declaration of independence. Let the rhythm of the rain burn like fire in your blood. Have you ever stopped and listened? Listen to the rain. Listen, Boricua. Listen to the rain. Stop. Listen to the rain, Boricua. Listen. This is called Talking About La Música. I'm a music nut for all those that know me, know that already. So, but this is Talking About La Música. Hablando de la música, mi música corriendo por mi seso, escuchando la música en mi sueño. Ay, música, una comida del alma. I said I'm talking about music. La música sagrada, sweet music, precious music, música caliente, la cachao and puente, like patato y totico and caco, talking about Celia Cruz, ay, bendita luz, el fuego de Tito Rodriguez Cortijo, Miguelito Valdez, can't leave out Papin, La Lupe, Johnny Ventura, Machito, Graciela, Hector Rivera, Gatsio Mata on my brain, talking about flying high on music, crying, dancing, laughing music, freedom music, living for more music, ma música, mi música preciosa. La 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 lo le la ha. When along comes Senor Planchao Pelao pouring buckets of rain on my sunshine, diciendo, Mommy, turn off that mess. Tuned into the modern, that stuff died with the Last Supper. Tutucupla, cupla. La música, mi música, compadre. Pienso que tiene cacahuate en la cabeza en vez de esos cacahuates sin los guates, cada loco con su tema, and another brother bites the dust. I gotta have it. I said, I can't live without it. Talking about Guaguancó, El Sol Montuno, La Plena, Guajira, and La Bomba for days and days and days. Go take your rainy lack of pride elsewhere, papi triste. La gente me dice, la merengona, estoy hablando de la música, sweet, precious music. Música del alma, música sagrada, got beautiful bad el conde running wild inside my brain, got el gran arsenio racing como loco through my veins. Just ain't got no time for no pelao soul drain, you dig? Estoy hablando de la música, talking about great music, soulful music, pulsating, pulmonary music, mi música de la gente, street music, hablando de la música, sweet, behind shaking music. Magic music, always music, hablando de la música para siempre, jamás. I'm a musician. I've been a musician since I was a little kid. And I come home real late, and this is written for the street kids. And it's in my book, which is in the chat. If you feel like it, go to get yourself a copy of the book. It's called Street Children of the Night para los chiquititos de la noche en cualquier lugar. Black and brown children of the night que ya no saben nada de jugar, mis niditos de la calle. Queridos morenitos whose ideas whose ideas of having fun got swallowed by the darkness. If I could, I would wrap you in sunshine, would hold you close and fold you in these arms and caress whatever's left of the child in you with lullabies. I would like to cover every inch of you with home-cooked self-esteem and bet that they say about contest. I want to fill the hole that hurt Doug. Take my hand and I'd swim defiantly through the fires of hell for you and with you through the mugre of disrespect. I'm a hard-headed kind of lady and I just can't see myself giving up on you. Somos lo que somos, you and I, para nosotros. Somos todo lo que hay fused together by history por lo bonito, los sueños robados, like spiritually in the maze of our destiny origin. Mis negritos, mis pequeños callejeros, los necesito. The truth is, I know I need you, y yo sin ti soy nada. And if I had a chance, I'd refuse to turn you loose till you were so in love with yourself that self-destruction would disintegrate under the pressure of your presence. And you were so secure in my love for you and so sure of the splendor you had become that even the sun would lay aside its arrogance just to get a chance to reflect the brilliance of your essence and bask in the bold truth of your integrity. En ti, vivo en la verdad real y yo sin ti no existe ni un sendero de la esperanza, oh say, can they see you? My beautiful wild lotus flowers, if I could, I'd bathe you in a sea of rose water. I'd convert your waves of pain into an ocean of pride and faith. Y yo te pido, dame un chance. Please, please, please let me in. I promise you the very best I can, even if I have to wake the dead and conjure up our ancestors' breath. I'm not too proud to act a fool, get down on my knees and holler and scream and beg all the spirits of goodness to intervene, to blow away the fog of dismay and distrust, para santificar tu lágrimas and dissipate the rage burning behind your eyes. So together we could wash away the centuries of emasculating doubt and defeminizing lies and have a little fun and learn to play a brand new game called Demolishing Walls of Self-Hate. Children of the night, mis niñitos de la calle, I want the stubbornness of my love to help you turn on all the lights inside your soul. Tú eres mi sangre. I will not allow the streets of any city to steal you. You, like a lotus blossoming in the night, mis queriditas, alma de mi existencia. I will not let the cesspool of Fulinga make a fast food happy meal of your dreams. Chiquito de la esquina, you are our only wealth. You are the most beautiful part of me, and I'm not about to let you go. I will not permit the hungry stupidity or greed to feed you to the streets without putting up a fight. Hermosito, perdido de la noche, if I could, I would pave your path with stardust and massage your mind with a steady diet, just how important you are. Make sure you know you're too damn important to let the world just throw you away. It's my job to remind you on a daily basis, this crazy old lady is here to stay. I'm still here. I say I'm here staying and praying and praying and staying and staying and praying and praying and praying and praying and praying. Mi cielito negritito de la noche, I'm talking to you. Can you even hear me? It's all tomorrows that you're throwing away. Queridos niñitos de la calle, I'm still waiting, a stubborn old lady with a heart full of love, standing in the shadows. I'm waiting on who you could be, waiting for you to finally see me, waiting to wrap you in a blanket of sunshine. How much time do I have? I'm lost. How much time do I have?
You can read another poem.
Okay, this one is called Daughters of the Drum. Every year there was, and hopefully it'll happen again before the pandemic, International Women Drum Festival, and I did a workshop there every year called When Ancestors Speak Through Rhythm, and this is for all the women that came to Born to Drum. It's called Daughters of the Drum. We were born to drum. Somos hijas rítmicas. We were conceived in rhythm, whether we knew it or not, or wanted it or not. It was and has always been about upholding la clave en el alma, the beauty and sanctity of the rhythm that created us, the rhythm that is us. Somos el latido de la naturaleza, the rhythm of our mother's labor pains announced our coming, and it's always the rhythm of our breathing that lets the world know we're alive. Míralo. Bellas fuerzas míticas pero picosas, feel it. We walk and sing, pray, dance, and cry, and every single word that flows out of our mouths is a rhythmic declaration of our presence. Somos la esencia de la bomba, and even our sacred mother nature dances rhythmically through the seasons every single year, keeping the rhythm of our lives in balance. Our universe is an inescapable symphony, ritmos sagrados, held together by vibration, by the sound of the sum of us, the always right on time, magical, rhythmical timelessness of us. Somos la fiebre apasionada de la rumba, the heart of bebop and kubop was born in us. It's creation's gift to us. Somos el corazón del tambor, born in the womb of creativity. An undeniable rhythm personified. Wake up, world, wake up, wake up. Míralo, listen, listen. We are your children, and we were born to drum. Please check out my thing there. Get the books of everybody you've heard this evening. Come and support. You hear the name of Manny Martinez, Susana Praver-Perez, Tony Aldorondo. Please come and support us because that's the only way we can exist, and we'll give you a dose of vitamin B flat if you come and check us out. Thanks for listening to my words.
Thank you so much, Avotcja. And thank you to all of the readers who Avotcja just named. Thank you also to the San Francisco Public Library that indulges me and lets me do this sort of thing with very little oversight. Thank you, John, for being the conduit for this. And thank you for all of the people in the audience. If people missed it, it's been recorded. I imagine it's going up at some point, and you can catch it again. And even if you didn't miss it and just want to see it again, it's going up. So thank you all. Next month, we've got, we're not at our usual date. It'll be the 18th, if I'm not mistaken, November 18th. And it's going to be an array of Native American women, including Linda Knoll, Georgina Marie, and Denise Loeso. And everybody's either a former laureate or a current laureate somewhere. So that's going to be a great reading too. Thank you all for coming. And we are done for the evening. Really.
Thank you, everyone.
Come back
Yeah.
November 18th.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Thank you, folks in Zoom land and YouTube land. All right. See you soon.